Alright, welcome back everybody. So we're recording another bug of the day, even though it's the night. We're trying to launch my Mayflower. I'm trying to get events done. I was supposed to pre-mine some stuff. I politely asked everybody I need my rocks from, instead of taking the attack option. And Felix is joining me. So, say hello, Felix.
Hey everybody.
Hey everybody. He's been on like half a dozen of my shows, so he's always with me here. So now we got a connection issue. This happens. I did a full system restart, and sometimes around this time is when it drops. Interestingly, from the morning, I'm pretty much on this game throughout the day, but I'm working on the other things at the same time. Also on a second device, my phone sometimes. And sometimes on hard copies. You know, I have a notebook, I have several. So I'm actually looking for one that I lost, a composition one, that actually has my full name in it, and I think like my phone number and stuff in it. So if you ever see it, please return it. Or message me. So this connection issue here pops up when the connection to the game drops, or the game server. So interestingly, for me, it happens often, mostly at the same time of the day. So it's always between like 8 and 9:30-ish. So that same time. So the way I've tried to make it work, of course, this is a limited solution because I don't have every option available, is using a VPN. I use Windscribe, which is free. So, and legal. Okay. They're actually a real registered company with the IRS. So we're gonna try to restart this again. You can see this is one of the new logos. So interestingly, BlueStacks keeps the old splash screen and the old menu. So so we're gonna try to load this again. It might go through. Sometimes if you reload it a few times, like the second or third time I'll go through. The other way, temporarily, is used for me, the Windscribe thing. But the problem with that is that sometimes it lags kind of hard. Now we could see ping numbers on this, which I could do through, which used to be called MS-DOS or DOS. You could probably see some number close to 1,000. But usually ping numbers are 1,000 to 0. So, and that's supposed to be a measurement or estimate of the time in milliseconds, which is sometimes abbreviated as MS. I just had a conversation about the abbreviation. Felix, remember that? So, yeah, it ain't right. There's a lot. It's showing us a lot is missing. So, but you could probably abbreviate missing, but with the word MS. MSG, missing. I guess that's a new joke. Anyways, so let's turn on the Windscribe here. And we're actually going to turn it on. Now after it loads, I turn off this firewall thing. Seems to help run things a little faster. So, now some people don't like that because they think it'll stop somebody or everyone, or it might help. And I think sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. And for how long? You know? So, now if you want to take the longer way, you can actually turn off the entire app, start your Windscribe, and then start this thing. The LD player, sorry, I didn't remember the name. So it's trying to load. So usually it loads up to about 76%. It says retrying, and then you can see the companies at the bottom, even one with their kind of message at the time, sees the play. which I've seen for a few years, so that's kind of the older one. And only one of the few. Really, anything could be put under there. So, and I was able to get back in a few moments ago, but I couldn't do something like move my ship. It actually got stuck. I could move it out, and the other ships were still moving, and the graphics were still running and displaying, but like the ship was just staying there. But interestingly, I'm looking at the counter for the miner. It was still counting up, I guess, because the units were going up. So I've restarted, and I've had that situation before, and sometimes it doesn't register with the server. So even though you do the action, you see it on your side. When you look at it on another account, like I run 2 accounts sometimes, the second one, the ship's still sitting there just mining. It hasn't moved. So it's a bug that happens rarely. Less than 1% of the time is the statistic, maybe 1 out of 1,000 times. So there's sometimes where I'm running this app on and off. I usually take a break around afternoon, from the morning almost until the night. So I guess on average it's about like 8 to 9 hours. So I don't know what the stats would say on here. So, all right, now we're still getting stuck here. Oh, and then my mouse is now getting stuck. I've had this problem too, with actually the mouse gets locked. So my solution is actually use an external mouse. And I actually have another mouse thing on here. I bought this computer partly because of that. It has a pointer stick. So for some reason, if I do this, now I can enable the mouse right away. So you know how it works. So always have hardware backups, right, Felix? They're a little faster. So
Yeah.
yep. All right, so we're gonna exit. Let's run back to BlueStacks. So maybe I can get in and at least work on something. Now, though I run 2 accounts, and actually I'm up to 3 now. The first one is the one I care the most about. So we'll just do one at a time here. Okay, maybe I'll change my mind. Let's open up the LD multiplayer. Let's see if we can run the second one. Now, if you're wondering about the specs of this particular computer, it's a Hewlett-Packard EliteBook, so it's a E. So EliteBook 8470P. And in the specs, it's actually listed, I think, a little over 2 gigahertz for the central processor unit. So, or the engine of the computer, or one of the engines, right? So, to find that information, it's a little ambiguous. So not even sure if nowadays, if you type in help, you'll be able to find it. It'll probably come out though. It's better than it was back in the early 90s, like with Windows 3.1. But well, this is Windows 7. It has a long build number. I'm not gonna get into that. But like, so let's take a look at the system information. I think that's where it is. Yep, got it. So we got 8 gigs of RAM. It's listed as an Intel Core i5-3320M. M stands for mobile, if you're wondering what that is. And I'm not sure what this is. I heard it's like Itanium, which is this new substance and the whatever, and intelligence and stuff. It can stand for anything. So whatever you want it to stand for. Or Intel. At 2.6 gigahertz, right? Now the i5 3s are nice, you know, they're reliable. So I've used this computer for a year and I like it so far. I use mostly, when I buy computers, always Intel. I always have a main one, but I know AMD has some advantages, and there have been some really good ones. I did use one. I still have a laptop that has an AMD processor. And yes, I used ATI stuff too. So that was actually on all my computers, yeah, at college. So there were Raidens on there. That's the whole graphics processor and NVIDIA and all this stuff, which is different than the main processor. So don't get them confused. But I'm just mentioning that. So, yep, there's even the product ID. So it's that thing. It's like letters and OEM, whatever. It's like 15 digits. Quadruple 08 are the last numbers. So, yep. Interestingly, there's an experience rating on there. That's kind of new. I don't remember that on other versions of Windows. And so this account here, which is the primary one, and it's iconed on my desktop, is actually linked to my first account. Now I call it first, but I didn't create this one first. So, or pull it off the server. Because these are actually pre-created IDs that we're given now from the Game Center software, which is linked to your Google account. And then actually Scopy has another player ID, which is in your profile. So those are three separate things. Sometimes you got to give technical support all three. And then they're going to give you a message, right? Felix, sometimes? Like the second time. It's always for me the second time you help them. They give you a list. Restart, update. What's the other three things on the list? Check your Wi-Fi.
Cash, rainbow.
Yeah. Buy more stuff, spend less, spend more, don't spend. Like drink 8 glasses of water. Let's see if that works better. Like the crazy number. I'm like, I don't think in my life I have ever drank 8 glasses of waters. Now, if it's measuring cups, which are like 2 ounces, 3 ounces each, yes, total in a day, that's 8. But not like this size here. Felix, like, although you can see this, I'm not recording this video. So, I'm only recording the screen cap. So, alright, it's still loading kind of slow. Yeah. So I've looked up the address of CBS Interactive, so if you guys at CBS or fans of CBS see this, and I am a fan, I always thought it was a cool station. So if you see this, comment, say hi. I like to help you guys out. So, sorry, what did you want to say, Felix?
Nothing.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, Felix, I think, told me he had the same issue a few times too. So, but for me, it usually runs okay, good, all through the morning, afternoon, and once the sun goes down 2 hours after, it starts to do this thing to me. So, I haven't found the solution yet. I found a kind of a workaround. You know, this VPN sometimes works for me, sometimes doesn't. Now on BlueStacks here, I'm getting stuck at 30% here. It says charging warp engines. Which, interestingly, nowadays they can say anything on the message, so they're not even real technical messages. Or maybe they are. Maybe it's like actually the name of the game, one of the game engine components is a warp engine now. So, you know what I mean? Alright, we're still, Jesus, we're still waiting. Alright, well, I'm giving up now. I'm gonna give it 5 full seconds here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and yes, I'm gonna include 0. There we go. Alright, so we're killing the app here. I kind of want to play another app, but not yet. When I get back, planning to travel, I have plenty of time to do all the offline stuff, Felix, because I still haven't contacted Consolidated. So, and our contractors to pull the lines, which honestly, God, I just want to pull it myself. Like, or run the lines myself. I can just get the roll here and I'll pull them out and the guy can come in and just connect the ends. You know, for God's sake. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about how many people I talked about this problem. So, I know the electricians are better at that skill than I am. I agree. Because they have all the tools and I have learned and practiced a few times. So they made enough mistakes to learn. Right, Felix? Yeah. Well, I'm hoping we can get like the minimum or little Wi-Fi units to boost the 5G and even 1G and whatever was before the A networks, because those are still important. So they're like the dial-up system, but like when you don't need high-speed internet, it's nice to have just internet, you know. No, actually, I started the wrong emulator here. So let's go and try to start the LD player. Now, is it the first one? I think it's the first one. I might have to actually put account names on here. I want to put the Game Center IDs on here, but I can't remember all of them. So, they're not always displaying. And not in the player profile. Alright, so we're restarting the LD player. Interestingly, my version of LD player, if I press maximize while this loading screen is going, it doesn't work. It presses down, the button works, but the action doesn't happen. See? So, in BlueStacks it works. So one technical trick is if you want this emulator to run a little lighter, less of a load on your computer, if you minimize it down, it helps because you know, it's displaying less and costs less power and electricity to do that. So, or less software load, which has a ton of technical words, which I think Felix has learned more about that than I have, right? Maybe.
No, yeah.
Or maybe the same amount. You remember reading those technical manuals about like all MTUs and then the payload and then bit and bytes and, you know, I remember my dad was trying to teach me those lessons when I was 15. So, you know, I had grown up in Alaska, so I was thinking about more about animals than computers back then. So, always wanted to see a brown bear. So, I don't remember seeing a live brown bear. I think I did when I was really young. I just don't have the memory. So, like in the zoo. Alright, so we're trying this again. LD player 3.79 is the listed version, I think, on the top left corner. So, yeah, it does says first account, so if you're wondering about that, I actually renamed it, which is something you can do. So when you load the multiplayer, and if you click on the thing that looks like a pencil writing, that actually allows you to edit the name of what you see, the external name. So it's loading a little better on this side, I guess. It's gone up to 35%. So. Ironically, guys, in 4 hours, technically it's my birthday. Can I get a happy birthday, Felix? And when is Felix's birthday? Like the day, it's not, the month's not right, but the day of the month. Okay. Did you say the 15th? Or the 5th? The 5th? Like 5? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. So you're like in the first week of the month. Wow. Yep. I have two late numbers. All my numbers are always high. It's like the 8th month, the 22nd day, and the frickin' 1984. You know, you know what it feels like to be like. And then my last name was always like at the end of the alphabet. So with the letter P, right? So I remember in school I always was called, and it would take so long to get through the list when they go through roll call in the morning or attendance, or like when we had to sit in class and they organized us by last name and our, you know, I'd be in the, yeah, I made like almost the last quarter in the back of the class. Alright, I'm getting stuck at 35%. Is your app running, Felix?
Yeah, I'm inside it now, actually.
Okay, so this is only a thing on my end. So, alright.
I put the original server as well, because you were before and I'll touch how long, and that was like probably my original server that was hanging out.
Right. Well, I'm gonna turn off WinScribe and I'm gonna try to run it again. Sometimes it takes me like 3 times, Felix, to get in. So.
Sometimes the icon works, sometimes it doesn't, just depends on which server you're actually hitting.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, but it's a like TCP handshake protocol and also the software. So between, you know, the server and all that. Sometimes it's a local thing too. So whether it's local or not, I'm not sure. I'd have to run some diagnostics, look at the technical stuff, even do a visual inspection of the hardware or electronic or physical test. So could be my ISP too. Oh, we got it now. We're up to 60%. So we're getting up that high. Oh, we're getting the retrying part. Oh, it went past retry. You know, sometimes it goes to retry ... and it keeps going. You ever notice that? Oh, we're up to warp engines now, 70%. I almost want to make the engine noises like Michael Winslow, like. Like every damn movie has like the same sound. You ever hear that? Like it annoys the hell out of me how it sounds the same. Star Wars, Stargate, Star Trek, Babylon 5. Even like sometimes in Mr. Bean I hear that noise too. I'm like, what the heck? Like does everybody on Earth just have that one noise to use? Like I think there was only one movie where I heard a more unique noise. There was kind of like a buffering, you know, like a vibrating. And that sounded more real to me. So. Alright, we're up to 76%, so if we're lucky we're going to get in and be able to get full control. So I actually disabled WinScribe this time, because it was on the last 2 or 3 times. Now there's another emulator called Nox, but I tried to install it once on this computer. And so one thing is, interestingly, if you try to install something, you keep getting the same error. But if you take a copy of that software and put it on another device, even if it looks like the same software on it, same Windows, right, or Apple, iOS, or Mac, or whatever they want to call it, or Macintosh, but sometimes it'll work perfectly. So that's always been a fun experience for me. That surprises me. So, because I forget that every device is unique. Really, right? Alright, we're up to 76% still, and now it says retrying. And this is where it usually hangs for a really long time. I think I've let this run sometimes for 3 minutes, and I always wonder how long can we get this going, Felix? If I turn this on for like a week, would it just still stay there? Yeah, there's probably like if we could actually see the line code, you would see the code just stop running. Or if you're looking at the binary, or if you could look physically in the computer here, and there was like a, I don't know, like later on they'll probably light it up in the circuitry, and you'll see like the light actually stop. You know what I mean? You know, like flicker. You know, it doesn't get through or something. Like even the little registers, you'll see it visually. There's you know, some of the computers in the future might be transparent in part of it, so we can see what's going on inside. So that'll be part of the real or physical kind of troubleshooting, you know, notifier for us, or visual notifier, whatever it's called. Oh, I'm so thirsty, Felix. Oh, I wish I could go to the supermarket and load up on like 25 bottles of my favorite drinks. Oh, I got in. We're in. Alright. I am gonna run with this help. Now, the reason why I'm doing this help request thing is because there's time limits on it. And actually, that clock that runs out, any of the Alliance members that send it, if they actually finish off the thing or finish the repair, it's removed. And actually, the Alliance help, which is for your Alliance Unity, and another one called Alliance something else, and your daily goals, is really important because it gives you points and actually gives you directly Alliance credits, which you can use to buy stuff in the Alliance store, in the Alliance button in the bottom left of the corner. I say that right, Felix? Yeah, that was a mouthful, right? I think Felix feels tired just watching me talk. Please. I know, don't. Just feel whatever you want to feel. Alright, so I'm down to 30 minutes left on the Mayflower. So we're making the deadline. I think there's still 2, maybe 3 hours left in the military supremacy event, which I found out recently when I was looking, was the tokens all looked like the same image. I thought was maybe like 1 million or 2 tritanium, virtual tritanium it was. But it's actually, I think when I did the math, it's 16 million total almost. I'm like, wow, that's a lot. So, but there's the first set, and there's 4 level of rewards, is actually like 1 million tritanium token. So, which might have a different icon, but they look so alike, right, Felix?
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. Alright, we're getting a bit of an error here. I can't repair my ship. I press on the button. Oh, it is repairing. But the speed up isn't working. Okay, so it's still a little buggy right now, but this might clear out within the hour. It usually does. So, but I've been on a good run. It's been running pretty good around this time, almost the whole day. So, alright. So we only got 30 minutes before we unveiled the Mayflower here. So we'll just run this video longer. So here's the military supremacy event. So, you know, it says X3 at the bottom, but if you look on the description, it says a 1 million tritanium token. Of course, this is for my power level. I don't even know what my power is, but my level is 27. So this number actually changes depending on your level, and it's not the same for the whole level. Like your operations building is like 27 from the last minute or from the first day to the last day. These numbers can change. So I think from server to server, maybe from power, different powers, maybe different years too, or different months or different days on the game, it could change. So if it does vary, don't be surprised, because I used to get a lot less. It used to be 100Ks only, and I missed the first 2 this year, but I might be able to get this one. It says in here, I think you get 1,000 points for the Mayflower. So it says build ships, Mayflower, straight / 1,000 points. But the detail that's missing, and you kind of feel like it is going to be that way, is you actually have to finish building the Mayflower. So just the start, sometimes for some events, gives you the point, but this one is something you have to finish before this clock runs out. So there's 3 hours and 5 minutes. We only got 30 minutes left, so we're well within the range. So now, one other issue is the events getting ahead of time. I realize there is a schedule, but we got to find out a way to help these guys get this done. So, and then pre-mining so many resources, man. I hope we can edit the numbers down for casual players. Maybe it could be based or chosen by the player. Like if you play an hour a day, or half an hour, or 5 minutes, or 10 minutes, you have like different numbers. Or maybe there's a preset for that versus other players. So something that made more sense. Now I remember this bug here. Alright, I can't repair one of my ships, but maybe if I restart I'll be able to come in. But let's see. And this is probably against technical advice. They say if you have a problem, restart immediately. Do not continue using the software. But that's not telling you always. But you see how hard it is to get in. So, and I'm going to try. Now my speed up for the Mayflower is locked too. So, all new bugs today. Amazing. So I can't do anything right now with my ships here. Well, now the button works. So let's see if we can speed up the time on the Mayflower a little. Oh, now the mouse is not working. Oh my god. Now if I use another program, other things would work well. It's just this one. Oh Christ, now we're getting a network thing. A lag here. I was really hoping I could do some data mining and stuff, because I'm kind of behind on my original schedule. So, remain calm if you're frustrated, and I was somewhat a lot frustrated with this game when I first came with these problems. Give it a moment to see if it clears out, but sometimes that helps. The other thing is we can actually run this VPN right now. Sometimes this helps a bit. Oh, it actually dropped the connection. So let's run the VPN. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to control this. Work without the VPN, so we're just gonna do it normally. Wow, it's loading fast. So it's probably already preloading and using the catch, so which is the simple explanation. Yep, we're up to 70%, 73%. Woohoo, Felix! By the time I'm done, the Mayflower is gonna be ready. God, I gotta put it. The day before my birthday, happy birthday me. Happy birthday. I actually learned how to play the happy birthday song this year. That was kind of fun. Like the first 8 notes, I think. No, I can't say the musical notations for all the notes. I actually have to do it visually. That's just how I am. I could tell you the 8 notes. It's like from C to F or G, but like, and then for some reason the top letters are, you know, or the other 5 black keys on the keyboard, on the center keyboard, are labeled with another set of letters, which are, it's an odd way, because they have designations now called sharp and stuff. But there's actually books where people put, like, just numbers, like 1 through 5, from left to right. So, or the left side to the right side. Alright, so we're loading again. We're up to 76%. Man, things are loading so slow today. That's why I was hoping to finish this fast, but had to take a long nap to catch up on some sleep today. Oh, we're up to 88% now. Thank God. 91%. I'm trying to run the second emulator, but it's not coming up. Retrying 91% with 3 dots. Oh my god. Now I really miss the games that loaded quick. Felix, you ever had one of those? Like, I set up Battlefield 2 demo, and there's actually a form that shows you, and it's just a removal of one file with the splash screens, and it goes straight into the game, you know, straight into the start menu, or beginning menu. It's so nice, and it loaded right every single time, Felix. Perfect. Like, you gotta try that demo once, it's so fun. It has a nice large level with, like, a tank, and it's an FPS, it's fast action, there's no base stuff, no offline. And at the time when I ran the demo, there were still people on the server, but there's actually an offline version you can run against the computer, so it's nice. And there's teams, there's like, I think 16 players total, so, and there's a lot of options on the graphics. Yeah, it's a really nice demo. It's real fun. You have different vehicles, like a Jeep and a tank, and there's like a armored personnel carrier, and there's actually, well, all the way out in the ocean. I didn't know that when I first played the demo. There's actually a full-size aircraft carrier that has like a little raft boat underneath. So it's like hidden underneath where it looks like there could be a dock for another boat. So, but on the top there's actually airplanes and a helicopter, so that you can fly. Like, I think it's like Apache. And then there's actually jets you can fly, which is really fun. But you can just fly around for fun. There's like a blue sky and clouds and stuff. So like on a cloudy day, it makes you feel better. So problem is with this computer, it runs too hot, and it's just, my hardware can't handle that software the way it is right now. Really nice level though. So. Yeah, actually it's not a Jeep, it's now I remember, it's a dune buggy. It's like a buggy, which is real fun. And you can actually put 4 players on it. So, and you can sit on the front with 2 other people, and there's 1 driver, and you can hop out at any time, so it's a pretty fun thing. I don't think I've ever ridden in the dune buggy, so, a real one. Alright, so it's not loading. Oh. Alright, thank you. No, thanks for warning me. Oh. Homemade cough syrup, Felix. It's really like a cough aqueous solution. So it's what is it, like ginger? Mostly ginger. So that's been like cooked and then cooled in the refrigerator. So helps with my throat. And cheaper than buying cough syrup sometimes. As the price has gone up, man, it's like for Robitussin, like a little bottle like this is quite a bit though. Sometimes they're charging up to $10 now. So there's just Tussin in America, which is usually a little cheaper, but it's still like almost $4. So. Alright, so we're not, yeah, we're not getting the thing to load right now. So let's see if we can exit here. This back escape button sometimes works. No, it didn't work that time. Alright, well, we'll just go exit. And then we're going to try to go back on the first account, but we're going to winscribe it. I feel like that scene from Remember the Titans, Felix. You got to watch at least clips, or the best clips of that movie, with Denzel Washington. Maybe you've seen the movie before. But, yeah, where he has that stuff where they're like, why do you keep trying the same thing? Yeah. Well, I remember seeing that movie at least 2 or 3 times all the way through. Once on the bus when I was in high school. So we actually went to the state tournament. And it was during the day, so it was nice. All the way at, like, this Tacoma Dome, which was pretty cool. It was all wood. It wasn't made out of like concrete and steel like a regular stadium, so it was completely covered. And because that year our girls basketball team had gone to, our varsity team had gone to the state tournament, so they actually got in. So I don't know what their rank was that year. I think it was 2003. So they were really, that was like one of our best years when I was there. So they were really good, but they lost that game by a few points. So, and I think they kind of felt relieved because it was so tiring. Like, you ever been in one of those tournaments and you just want to lose? Feel like so you can go home. So I want to go home, man. I'm tired of playing basketball. You know. Yeah, I remember the other team was like, I think from somewhere near central Seattle. I forgot what school it was. Yeah, they had like one player that scored the most points. She was like their point guard, but she was hitting her shots. So. But our defense was kind of slow, and I think we just wanted to lose the game. So. I hate to say that. Yeah. So our school record wasn't that great. We weren't like number 1 and number 2 every year. So. Yeah, like Snohomish I think ranked a little higher than us, but they still weren't in the top 5. I don't know who was the like winner of the state tournament that year. I heard it was like some high school in like downtown or central Seattle. Well, I've never seen that school in real life. Never had time to go over there. So yeah, we had like one of the tallest women though. She was 6'6", Felix, and like over 200 pounds, and she was strong. She was, you know, she's big. She was like a light 200 dude. I played basketball against her. She posted me up. I was just like, I think I almost flew into the other side of the wall, like the other wall. Like, no, I'm like about 5. You know, I was thinner back then. I was like 120, 140 pounds, 135, so it was different. And a little bit shorter. But I'm like about 5'5", 5'6" now, and almost 180. So, but I wasn't ready for it. I thought she would just take the shot, but she tried to post me up. I'm like, really? Okay. And it was just like a pickup game at an open gym, so it was interesting to play against her. So she's actually a very good free throw shooter. I watched that game, and she made almost all her free throw shots. I think she was actually put onto the University of Washington's school or drafted somewhere. So I don't know nowadays what she's doing. But she was, yeah, she was like one of the top scorers on the team too. And then I think our point guard was Monica Bungie, and her brother was a good basketball player too. He actually, I think, played on my rec team, Felix. So
Yeah.
yeah, awesome. He had like all the skills. It was like Kobe every day with that guy. He could dribble, he could pass, he could shoot. Like the only thing he couldn't do, I think, was dunk. Like, but we didn't care. Like none of us could dunk anyways. And actually, there was a no dunk rule in our league to try to keep people safe and not damage the, because we didn't have extra, rims and stuff. So, so it was kind of interesting to play with him. He's really good. So their family's all basketball, skilled. So I was okay. I was the captain of my team in my 5th year, but I'm not as good with the handles. I'm like stuck like Ray Allen, or Rashard Lewis. Yeah, mostly a shooting guard. I mean, I can handle the ball, but I don't have the highest skills when it goes that. I just never got the practice to do that. So, sometimes I was pretty good at the 3-point shot. I was more of a mid-range, long-distance shooter. So, I think on my best day, I think I made almost 10 or 12 3-point shots in some pickup games in a row. It was insane. It didn't feel real, Felix. Like every shot, I'm not even trying. Things would just light up. Poof, it would just go in. And you're like, what? You're like, did that just go in? And the people are like, yeah, on, whatever Kim, yeah, I'm like, yeah, whatever. I remember Jonathan was always like my biggest fan. He was like, yeah, Kim. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, wow, I'm surprised that went in. It was like last week, I think I missed like my first 5 shots. I couldn't get like 0 for 5. Like, what happened? So. So that was pretty interesting sometimes to play those games. I used to play a lot at Ty Park, which was in Monroe, Washington, the town I grew up in. So I like that story you told though, Felix, with that guy who made like full court shots. Was I watched videos? You can tell that story.
Oh, that was only one game. Yeah, it was just an inspiration shot, but he done a full court, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be amazing to see that if there was a video, or see it in real person would be the best. Like freaking screw the video. I just want to see it. I haven't been on a basketball court in such a damn long time.
Like he never played
Yeah.
He never played a forward position in his life. He was always a defender.
Yeah.
But he just didn't have the time, and he just went for it.
Yeah, did he just do the chuck shot? Like, was it the forward throw, or was it like the overhand one-hander? Or over the head? No, overhand. So that's harder to do. Like, I'm a one-hander guy. It's hard for me to do the chuck shot. So like two-hander chuck. So I seen guys do that. So that seems to have more power if you're better at that. So I practiced it a few times, but I never practiced it every day. I tried to do half-court shots, and we had like a mini court, so it was like maybe 50-something feet, 40-something feet. It wasn't a full 90-ish, so which I heard is regulation size. But yeah, only like a few times I would try those shots, or just for fun, for like when we're playing horse. I wouldn't practice it every day, like seriously. There's guys who practice that seriously, and now you see it in the NBA. You see that? How they can make those half-court shots when they need to. I was like, wow. 45 feet away, poof, done. They win the game. They won. I'm like, for what they're getting paid, I'd do it too. It's like, $1,000 up to like $10,000 a game or something later. I'm like, Jesus. Like, I watched a video where the guy was trying to do like the longest shot. It was even farther than that. Like, there's one where the guy's like on a cliff. You ever seen that video on YouTube? He's like all the way on like a 300-foot cliff or something, and there's a hoop somehow all the way at the bottom. It looks real. It's like clear. He throws the ball all the way down and goes through the hoop. Like falls down the cliff. And he goes through the basket. You know? Through the hoop and the basket. I was like, what the? Like, A, if you're doing that in real life, how do you get the ball back up to the top of the cliff? There's no, like, ladder. Nobody down there in the video. You know? You just got, like, a whole basket full of balls on the top of the cliff. And how do you get up there with that? You know? Probably helicopter the thing up there or something ridiculous. So, I watched one, I think a guy had like an oversized ball, was actually at a helicopter throwing the ball out of the helicopter into like an oversized hoop. They have their own YouTube channel. I forgot, it was like Super Trick Shots or something like that. Alright, we're getting up to 82%. We were stuck on 76 for a while. So, I don't think I want to do the helicopter thing, Felix. But I'd attempt the cliff thing. You know, like a small hill or something. Even with soccer, let's even make the goal. It's like a ridiculously far distance. I thought full court was a lot, but I realized that's not that far. That's like 100 feet or 30 meters. But like, or 130 yards, whatever, 30 yards. But like, if you're doing like this, like 100 yards, 100 meters, 300 feet out, 400 feet out, you can still make it. It's like, that's crazy. I'm like, what is that? And if that was like worth points, what is that worth? Like 2,500 points all at once? Like the 100-point shot. You know? Like, that's a whole new version of basketball that would be crazy. Like freaking 10-acre basketball court, and like there's like lines everywhere and points, like in the football field, like the 100-point line, 90-point line. Yeah. That's actually a freaking awesome concept, though. I might write that down. We're actually gonna write that down now. So we'll call it what? 100-point basketball. I'm just going with this title. Or 100 meter basketball? Or what's another title? Soccer basketball. That works too. And then football basketball. So, it's a 100-point line. And then all the way, I gotta actually write out what I said, to the, should we go with the 1-point line? I always thought there should be a 1-pointer. Like when a guy goes in, you know what I mean, and lays it up, shouldn't that be worth 1 point? Versus the guy, you know what I mean, if we're going by distance. So, I don't know, we'll figure it out. We actually make that. I actually want to play it in real life. Let's see how many 100-pointers I can make. Feel like around. I don't even get it to the basket. Do I need to use a catapult or like a slingshot or something? Like, how am I gonna do this? I might have to use like a cannon or something, you know, like one of those ones that shoot the T-shirt, but I put the basketball in. So. Don't play with those, kids. It's very dangerous. Never aim at a person or anything you don't want to break. Like, do it where it's the most empty, where you literally see nothing there. So, okay. And adults, don't do it. Alright. I actually like that concept. 100-point basketball. So I remember playing NBA Live and all these NBA basketball games and stuff. There's newer ones that are out, but I could never find more original games. So it was always kind of like the standard ones. Like NCAA basketball was more fun. But that was college. But it was really hard to find a copy of that title, especially in store back in like the early 2000s. And of course, I didn't have a lot of time to find it. Nowadays, online you can find it, and you can probably order somehow like a new copy, like in box and stuff. And there's even like more game stores in person now. Like in my town, there's like 2 of them. They have like a wall
Yeah.
of, you know, the cartridges, the CDs, the DVD-ROM games. Not DVD-ROM, but DVD size games that work on consoles, home consoles. They don't have PC games there yet, but they'll probably go to that. So that's other stores like Staples, Walmart, Target, in their electronics section. So, which has a big gaming section nowadays. That's like a whole aisle or 2 now. I was like, wow, that's a lot of stuff. So, 50 types of Mario now. There's like Mario Odyssey. No, he has a freaking like a whole bunch of stuff. I was like, what is that? He's like running around in the city and stuff. I was like, that's way. It looks fun, but it's just way too much Mario for me. Like, I was more of a fan of Yoshi and Luigi. So I was a bigger fan of like the Ninja Turtles. So. And Mario always looks like he's stuck as a child. Like, I've never seen him as an adult, you know what I mean? Like in all the Nintendo games, that he looks like he's not full size. So. Alright, so I'm back on my second account. We're getting the warning icon at the top here. So my Captain Deprin here. I don't know where I am here. I think it says I'm in Maranga. Oh, I moved off the rock for a second. Oh, I did register. Now, somebody else is on the rock. But I only see symbols. Oh, there we go. I just loaded. So the player names are loading now. Somebody else got the rock. That's fine. Like, I need a larger rock anyways. We still have time to prepare to mine ahead. Or pre-mine is what we call it. We might have to make like a glossary later on for this. I gotta get somebody to help me. So if I press the recall button, it should subspace interference encountered. So it's all over the place now. Now these can still mine, so I'm gonna keep letting them mine because this ship's not working correctly. It might actually be warping. It says can't recall ship is already. Alright, it's already. Okay. Let's play some 100-point basketball and soccer, Felix. You know, you could do it in real life on a sheet of paper. Have you ever done that? I actually did that once. Draw out like a little soccer field on a 8x11 sheet of paper and then try to play with it. And then I try to get somebody to play with it with me. So, it's actually really fun to do. Doesn't cost any electricity. So if you want to do that, try. You know, you just need paper, any pen you can get, or a pencil, or a crayon, or I guess you could even use paint if you're able to find that. So if you draw that and you play a game on the paper, but you can make any game. So yeah, any rules. You even make like a Monopoly board that actually has places you actually know, a circular one or whatever shape you want. So I played Monopoly a lot, but I think the version I played the most, and it was only a few times I played. I mean, when I was, like, I think before high school, I never played Monopoly, even once. But, or before junior high school. But like, I played an NES version, so that was an electronic version. So, but it always has like the same places located. They're organized by color. You know, you got Park Place here on the right corner, bottom corner, and then you have like St. Louis and whatever on the top, and they're usually colored like orange and red. Those were kind of my two favorites. For some reason, I have better luck up there. And then on the bottom row, they were like the least expensive, but they were good too. And then of course you had like, you know, the railroads and stuff. So you could make your own board game and name it. So I wish more kids would do that, or adults. So it'd be fun to see that. Of course, that's probably gonna happen because software programming is fun when you're proficient. But right now, man, just setting up all these tools with all the issues I'm having right now, it's like really slow. So, you know, if I had everything together, I could probably knock out a game in a few days. So, oh, I'm actually warping back now. Hey, yay, it's working. It's a little overprotected cargo, so. Now, how I can tell that is like this meter here. So when you click on the ship button and you look at this information box on the left side here with this guy, which is unnamed, but he's actually Barat. He's the captain right now, because I put him in the captain slot. The first section on the left is actually the protected cargo with the stripes on it, or the lines, and then the segment that's missing is the divide between the two, or that's dark, and then this white section here is actually how much over unprotected cargo. I sometimes say overprotected cargo because it just comes out of my mouth. And this count here is the total. And the second number here is the total current capacity, which can change depending on your crew and depending on your tier and stuff like that. So for the most part, it stays the same. So it says 172,800 today, and there's 22,000. This, you know, it's counting unit. This little clocker is how much time it's going to take to mine it all out. So now it's on a rock right now that's like probably gonna, like when it's full, it's in the Pika system. It's 18,000 units, and this is 3-star crystal. So we're gonna, you know, let that mine out. Though I kind of want to reset it, to be honest. But it'll go over to the reset hour. So it's kind of hard because guarding your ships with only 3 docks is a little difficult to do. Like ideally, you would always send 2 ships together, right? And even have them, like a Navy field, you can add like a small ship, like your destroyers, Felix. I forgot to tell you this. Your destroyers, yeah, you can.
Star broke our agreement with Star.
Yeah.
They hit empty mine. And I hit it.
Right.
And I put one miner on there and he come back and hit it empty. So now I'm going after Star players.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
He got to be the admiral know what you're doing. I said, yeah, my admiral knows that you broke the agreement.
I don't know what to say
Because
about
I made
that.
the agreement.
Yeah.
I made the agreement with the admiral not to hit miners under protected load. He was overloaded. So I took him out and put my empty miner on there, so he come back and hit my empty miner.
It's good to know. People kind of make their own rules here because people have the freedom here to.
I made the agreement with the admiral not to hit
Yeah.
unprotected cargo.
Yeah, it's good to talk to the
If you
leader.
have a protected cargo, okay to hit. So now I'm going to sneak into the system from the bottom and go for his wireless just in his rock.
Right. Well, it's going to be pretty busy. I think the expectation is another mining event, but we had like the same events for I think almost 4 days, right? So it's been a while since we've had a lot of mining events. Yeah. Which sometimes is easy. Like the easy part is that you don't have to click on the game like thousands of times to hit hostiles. Because on the heaviest days, we are literally hitting, and there's recorded video of me playing, like 1,000 ships in a day. So.
Yeah, too many.
Yeah, it's too many, really. I feel like I'm getting carpal tunnel. But like, to cut that back, if you're more patient and if you use multiple ships, the other thing is I hope there's an update where we can target multiple ships or put automatic. Like if you play Star Wars Heroes, Felix, there's a button at the top. I tried to show it in one video, but you can always try to look that up. You just put my first name in with Star Wars, it'll come out. But like, which is Anh-Kim, Anhkim. Hopefully, however you spell it.
Yeah, that's how I found the other videos.
Yeah, like so the automatic button actually works. That game, I think you might be able to play offline. I haven't tried it. I'll have to turn off my Wi-Fi and see if it works. But like, yeah, you press the automatic and you have 3 characters and you fight other 3 characters. It's like an action turn-based game. That's pretty fun. It automatically goes and you usually win the first round. So yeah, each of your characters has like 2 options usually at first. You probably get more as you go along, but you got to unlock stuff. There's like a whole set of stores. It's pretty cool. Good music. Just for my system, the music on my speakers like sounds real bad. It sounds like the speaker is gonna be damaged. So that's why I usually play without the sound on. So. You know, I might pre-mine like a large rock of titanium now, since I can't find any large crystal. I looked at all of Morska, so this is just kind of general information. So if you're playing this version of Star Trek Fleet Command, and there was, I think, a Fleet Command back from the 90s at least, so that game's different. I've never played it. I'd like to see it someday.
I just got his miner that he had sitting next to his attack ship.
Yeah.
He left his attack ship on the rock and put the miner next to him, thinking of his life.
Yeah, that trick works if you get it done right. Like if you wait for the bug where you can't target and you fly your ship on top. But the other one that works, I did it yesterday, is where you target the same rock. You've done that, and they both fly, and the other one just flies right on top. So, and it's weird when you scan it. It looks like the mining ship. It happened to me once, but when you target it and click attack, it'll like the fighter ship will hit you. It's like the perfect. Which I was expecting it to happen, but I wanted to give it a try because I didn't care anymore. I'm just like, you know, I got repair, speed up, so I'm ready for it. I've repaired my ship before, so. Yeah, it's a bit of a surprise the first time you do it, but like you know it's coming. So.
Oh, I forgot this on the He's got a VDAS on there. It's 669 power.
A VDAR, huh? He's using a VDAR?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Maybe he's doing it for XP or... Well, see, the advantage of the VDAR, it's a special event ship like the Franklin, so the first tier repair is really cheap. So, if you look at the repair costs, I might have to make a separate video of the VDAR. It costs only like 18,000 not dilithium, tritanium to repair. So, and it's like
oh, I blew up his,
Yeah.
blew up his Horizon that was sitting right next to it.
Ah, Jesus. I like that trap, but it's hard to set up for me. I haven't mastered on how to do that. It's nice to set that at night. I like my level 9 player one, though. I just want to hear the guy who's frustrated. Why can't I target him?
Best one.
So, authorized by StarTrek. Okay. So we're gonna do the send help button.
He's flying back and blow up his. That's the second time I've blown up his Horizon. If he sends it back, I'll go and blow it up again.
It's so weak, man. I think if you get the Horizon to like the 5th, 6th tier, it gets stronger. But mine's like 200k, but it's yeah.
166,000 power.
Mm-hmm.
But my black class I got to 179 now.
That's good. That's actually a huge first step. That's almost, yeah, like 20,000 more, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember
I
that.
told you I wanted to get it past Kira because the Kira was maxed out in levels for the tier. And
Yeah.
this one's got heaps of levels to go. I think it's tier 5, but it's only level 4 or something.
Right.
So I should be able to get up level 20 something or something close to that.
Yeah. I think we have 3 minutes left here. Once this ship gets on this titanium rock, I'm gonna end the video so that I can do another one for the Mayflower, because I gotta make a cut here. So we can continue after that. I still got 2 minutes, so I'm just giving you the time here, like I'm the producer. Felix, Mr. B, we're down to 3 minutes.
I'm waiting for the truck to bring his Horizon back so I can go smack it again.
It's so fun sometimes, almost too much fun to pick on survey, miner, or transport ships. Now that's the 3 names you'll hear in this game for the same ship.
He's
And
level
C.
29, this player.
Oh, he's a 29 guy, huh? Ah. Well, he's up to 4 dogs. Yeah, most likely.
So he'd be pissed at level 23 bashing him up.
I know. I know, man. Some of those level 23 guys are a lot stronger. I think those are the second accounts of some guys. Like that guy that was like 21, 22, and he had like a 232, Kira. So, I think Prawn had one too. I saw him pull it out. He had a pretty strong Kira. Was what I was building, I was more of like, okay, save titanium long term for the ship. And I'm not.
Well, I'm not gonna do. Yeah, I'm not gonna do me Kamari because that will affect me. What is it? That will affect the Legionary when I want to build it.
Yeah, you can, but you can always come back and build that ship anytime. That's what I was telling you, because from like level 23 to 26, you might only collect like 40 million tritanium. It's more fun to put it into the Legionary. Like your Kamari just can't.
Yeah, well, I'll
do
build
stuff
the
like that.
Kamari for the event, but I'm not going to use it.
Right.
And then I only got to wait one level after that to be able to build a legionary. So I'll just work on the rock class for now.
Yeah, that's smarter. But just save up that titanium and even your 3-star resources. There's some really powerful researchers coming up. Yeah,
Because this class is a battleship, same as a Kamari.
right.
So it's going to be the same resources. That's why I don't want to build a Kamari.
Yeah, no, that's the thing I keep forgetting. Like the same parts. So because you're getting the
that's why I'm
battleship
not going to
first.
level it up.
Yeah.
I'm just going to build it, get the event points for it, and that's it.
Yeah, that's the best plan. That sounds perfect.
And then the next level after that, I can build that. And then
Yeah.
all the parts that go for the Kamari will go on the Legionary.
Yeah. That sounds good. Just don't overspend on the Legionary because you got 2 higher ships, possibly 3 to build at least. So you got your, is it the Tribune for the Romulans? So
That they bought.
Yeah, the
and there's
Cable.
another attack ship after that, but it's not a battleship. I
Yeah.
think it's an interceptor.
Yeah, it could be an interceptor. It could be the destroyer. I'm trying to remember which one it is right now. So, I think your Tribune is your top Romulan ship, right? That's like the Enterprise of the Romulan Empire.
It doesn't show me the prints for that one yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that's a ship. I don't even have the first thing in the store unlocked. I've never seen that. I only have Klingon and Federation on 2 separate accounts. So.
Well, I think there's a
I can see it in the store.
There's a Centurion.
So, yeah, the Centurion is the
But
second.
I think I'm gonna skip that and I'm gonna go for the Gladius after that.
Gladius is more powerful. That is a wiser decision. The ideal is that you would have all tribunes. Yeah.
I think the top ship that I can see at the moment is Helium. Oh no, a tribute class.
Yeah, it looks like tribute. I read it
That's
as
like
tribune.
650 prints.
I know. It's such a high number. Yeah, that's why these events, saving those credits, it seems like a long time, but it's like less than half a year if we get there. We're already up to like
Well, I've got to skip it for a
Ford every
couple of
year.
days just
Yeah.
to get my Federation back in the green. Once I get the Federation back in the green, then I'll do the Federation and Romulans together again.
Right.
That way I can start getting more prints.
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, this is a really good conversation. I'm glad we're having it now, as I think a lot of people will benefit from this, especially if we can document this later, which I'm going to try to do by the end of next year. So,
Well, what I found is if you look at your faction ships on what prints you can buy,
right.
you know what normal ships to skip leveling up, so you got it for your faction later on.
Right. Yeah, no, that's kind of along the same lines of what I was saying too. If I had known ahead and had some kind of notification or calculator, I've been trying to do things my own, on different files, it would help, yeah.
Well, that's why with the Kamari, I'll only build it, and then when I get the Legionary, which is one level after,
Yeah.
all the parts that will go on the Kamari, I can put into the Legionary.
Yeah. So the
they're
parts are
lots of
interchangeable in this game. That's actually good to know. So the ship parts that the
Yeah.
3-star Explorer ones will fit mostly on most other 3-star. So far, all of them. And same thing with battleships. Same thing with interceptors. I'm guessing the same with destroyers. So sometimes, they're not unique to each ship. So that's good to know. Because you need to save up those parts because you don't get a lot of extra. It's not like in some games, you know, like Final Fantasy, where the little potion things you might used to get for your health, you get like thousands later on. You'd always have an extra one if you were good at saving. But this game, it's not like that. Like if you spend and you think you can make like 2,000 parts in a month, 3,000, like good luck. I've never been able to do that.
I just seen that top player move off his rock to put his miner on, then he realised I blew up his